Hello everyone, this is Kiran Tokla. Today we're going to talk about the importance of JSONs. JavaScript Object Notation is a schema-less text-based representation of structured data that is based on the key value pairs and order list. Although JSON is derived from the JavaScript, it is supported either natively or through libraries in most major programming languages. JSON is commonly but not exclusively used to exchange information between web clients and web servers. Over the last 15 years, JSON became most important on the web. It is the most format the choice almost every publicly available web servers, and it is frequently used for private web services as well. The popularity of JSON has also resulted in native JSON support by many databases. Relational databases like PostgreSQL and MySQL now ship with native support sorting, querying JSON data. NoSQL databases like MongoDB and Neo4j also support JSON. Through MongoDB uses a slightly modified binary version of JSON behind the scenes. In this video, we'll take a quick look at JSON, discuss where it came from and its advantages over XML, its drawbacks, and when you should use it, when should not. JSON files. JSON data is sorted in files that is ended with the JSON extension. In keeping with JSON's human readable ethos, there are simply plain text files and can be easily opened and examined. As the Skillizer blog explains, this is also a key to JSON's wider interpretability, and as just about every language you can name can read and process plain text files, and they are easy to send over the internet. Why should I use JSON? To understand the usefulness and importance of JSON, we have to understand a bit about the history interactively on the web. In early 2000s, interactivity on the web began to transform. At that time, the browser served mainly as a dumb client to display information, and the server did all the hard work to prepare and content for display. When a user clicked on the link or button in the browser, a request would be sent to the server. The server would prepare the information needed as HTML, and the browser would remain the HTML as a new page. This pattern was sluggish and insufficient, requiring the browser to rendering everything on the page even if only section of the page had changed. Because full page reloads were costly, web developers looked into new technology to improve all our users' experience. Meanwhile, the capability of making web requests in the background while the page was being shown, which has been recently been introduced in the Internet Explorer 5, was providing being a valuable approach to loading data incrementally for display. Instead of reloading the entire contents of the page, the clicking of the refresh button would trigger web requests that would load in background. When the contents were loaded, the data could be manipulated, saved, and displayed on the page using JavaScript, the usual programming language in the browsers. Limitations of JSON. Although JSON is relatively consequence flexible data format that is used to work within many programming languages, there are some drawbacks in the format. Here are 5 main limitations. No schema. On the hand, that means you have total flexibility representing the data in any way you want. On the other hand, it means you could accidentally create misshapen data very easily. Only one number type. IEEE 754 double precision floating format point. That quite mouthful, but its useful means that you cannot take advantage of diverse and nonsense numbers types available in the programming languages. No data type omission means developers must resort to using string representation of data, leading format discrepancies, or must represent data in the format milliseconds in approach. No comments. This makes it impossible to annotate fields inline, requiring additional documentation and increasing likelihood of misunderstanding. Webservability. While JSON is a less web than XML, it isn't the most consistent data interchange format. For high volume or special purpose services, you will want to use more efficient data formats. When should I use JSON? If you are writing software communications with a browser or native mobile application, you should use JSON as a data format. Using format like XML is an out-to-date choice and red flag to format and mobile talent you would otherwise like to attract. In case of server-to-server communications, you might be better off using sterilizing framework like Apache or AVRO or Apache Drift. JSON isn't a bad choice here and still might be exactly what you need, but the answer isn't as clear as for the web and mobile communication. If you are using NoSQL database, you are pretty much stuck with whatever the database gives you. In relational database, the support of JSON as a type, a good rule, of them, it is used to little as possible. Relational databases have been tuned for structured data and that fits for particular schema. While most of them support more flexible data in the form of JSON, you can accept the performance hit when querying for properties within those JSON objects. JSON is ubiquitous and de facto format for sending data in web servers and also processed using mobile applications. Its simple design and flexibility make to use to read and understand the most classes. It is easy to manipulate in programming languages of your choice. The lack of strict schema enables flexible format, but that flexibility sometimes make it difficult to ensure that you are reading and writing with JSON properly. The JSON parser. The part of the application code is for transforms data sorted as JSON into format. The application can be called parser. JavaScript, as you be expected, includes native parser, the JSON.phrase brackets method. You may have to do a little work for more work with JSON strongly typed languages like Scala or ELM, but the widespread adoption of JSON means there are libraries that and utilities to help you through and the hardest parts. The JSON.org website includes a comprehensive list of code libraries you can use, parse, generate, and manipulate JSON in languages as it drives as Python, C hash, and COBOL. Thank you.